are Soviet spies living among us.
52 American citizens have been taken hostage at the American Embassy in Tehran.
An unnamed White House official claims that a Cold War disaster could be just around the corner.
Modern Warfare and Warzone are still going strong, but a new year means a new Call of Duty. After omitting a campaign in Black Ops 4, Treyarch and Raven Software bring us to the Cold War, with some familiar faces and new ideas.
We've got a job to do.
As a direct sequel to the original Black Ops, the campaign follows CIA operative Russell Adler and his team's hunt for the elusive Perseus during the 1980s. You play a bit as the returning Alex Mason, but mostly as newcomer Bell, who you shape by filling in minor details regarding their identity. The Cold War backdrop emphasizes tradecraft, which sets the tone for some memorable missions and separates it from other time periods in Call of Duty's long history. The frantic chaos of firefights remains central, but there's a lot more time to breathe and search for clues inside objectives. Occasionally, you return to a safe house where you can interact with fellow teammates, examine evidence, and discover secrets. It's a compelling place to invest in the mission and to get to know your team as people rather than expendable archetypes.
He has impeccable taste in scotch and medieval torture devices.
Periodically, you're presented with choices that usually entail killing or capturing targets, impacting the ending in slight ways. Aside from the canon and non-canonical variants, though, the differences are disappointingly minor. Dialogue will change, or someone different may accompany you on a mission, so it mostly amounts to what spin you want to put on your role-playing as Bell. Adler proves to be a darkly magnetic character who keeps the events exciting and the stakes high as you get closer to uncovering the identity of Perseus. But more meaningful decisions would have propelled the campaign to greater heights.
Handsome man. I hope the years weren't kind to him.
The missions are fairly linear, but they're large enough for you to wander off the beaten path. Stealth, infiltrations, assassinations, and vehicle-based combat ensure that each mission feels distinct amidst the frequent hail of bullets. Numerous difficulty options also enable players of various skill levels to tailor the experience accordingly, with higher settings offering a considerable test to your FPS skills. There are 2 optional side missions, but it's highly encouraged to gather sufficient evidence in other missions before pursuing them. After acquiring the data, you have to decode it using in-game clues, which can be rather difficult, especially because the solution is randomized for each player. It's an excellent way to further embrace the sneakier side of Call of Duty while also making exploration more thoughtful. When you finally crack the code and engage the targets, it feels like you actively participated in their downfall. Zombies mode is back, and this time it's more accessible to novices. Waypoints lead to critical objectives, while upgrading weapons and gear is easy and intuitive. Killing Nazi scum yields resources that can be spent on perks, equipment, and weapon upgrades that considerably increase your chances of survival. Getting knocked down removes one of your hard-earned perks, while outright dying costs you everything, providing a welcome sense of dependency on your teammates to watch your back.
Thanks for the save.
At launch, there's just one map for zombies, which grows tiring too quickly after you figure out optimal builds and strategies. All future content will be free, but currently, there just isn't enough here. This is clearly the beginning of a long story that will play out until the next Call of Duty, but even with secrets and Easter eggs to uncover, it's hard not to feel underwhelmed by the limited offerings.
Need help over here.
There's also Onslaught, a PlayStation-exclusive co-op zombie mode that takes place on multiplayer maps where you have to survive inside a safe zone that's constantly swarmed by the undead. It's a fun and quick diversion, but there isn't enough to warrant a serious investment. Multiplayer doesn't make any earth-shaking changes to the status quo, but naturally features new loadouts, maps, and subtle differences from its predecessors, like the return of the minimap and traditional operators instead of the specialists of Black Ops 4. You level up your rank and each individual weapon to grow your arsenal, while classic game modes like Domination, Hardpoint, Team Deathmatch, and Kill Confirmed are all present. Players take slightly longer to kill compared to Modern Warfare, making matches feel more disciplined without disrupting the familiar pace. New modes joining the rotation are VIP Escort, Fireteam Dirty Bomb, and Combined Arms. Escort is highly competitive and assigns one player as the VIP to escape before being killed. It's an excellent mode when you want to slow things down and play tactically. Dirty Bomb plays like an objective-based battle royale in a large sandbox zone. 10 teams of 4 parachute in to collect uranium caches, then deposit them into dirty bombs scattered around the map. Teamwork is required, making it a difficult mode to jump into without friends, primarily because it's so easy to get separated with multiple objectives. Lastly, Combined Arms is a 12-on-12 large-scale assault with extra emphasis on vehicles. All in all, the new modes add different ways to engage with Cold War, and are worthy additions. At launch, there are 10 maps, but all additional maps will be free. Satellite features desert terrain with plenty of small hills to use as cover, while the fringes of the map make it ideal for stealth kills and sniper positions. Garrison, on the other hand, has tons of close-quarter encounters with a few long sight lines, giving it a nice mix of combat scenarios. Everyone engages with Call of Duty differently, so your investment over the years will likely impact your perception of the value Cold War offers. With zombies only featuring one map, Warzone remaining free to play, and the campaign offering little incentive to replay it, the burden falls to multiplayer. As it stands, Cold War is a solid entry, but a safe one. All modes feature global and cross-progression across numerous consoles. If you've been grinding it out in Modern Warfare or Warzone, your progress carries into Cold War, which also shakes up how Prestige works. Upon hitting Prestige Rank 1, you keep all your hard-earned unlocks and begin the journey to Prestige Rank 2, and so forth. Every 50 season levels, you're awarded a Prestige Key, which can be used in the upcoming shop. Warzone's PlayStation 5 version doesn't launch until December 10th, but in the meantime, the PS4 version is backwards compatible with improved performance. Currently, connection issues are a consistent problem. A patch or two will most likely address these concerns, but numerous drops and crashes have been bothersome over the past few weeks. Call of Duty has been an annual franchise for 15 years, but this year feels particularly unnecessary because Warzone and Modern Warfare continue to thrive. It's a solid game, but with limited maps and a campaign that fizzles out, it's a hard sell for players already committed to where they are. As the seasons continue, Cold War could certainly improve, but for now, it isn't an essential purchase.
Just understand that if you botch this, we can't get those names. It's over.
Next Gen has arrived, but we're also taking time to remember the gen that was. Tune in every other week as we take a year-by-year look back at the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All of our videos are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more.